past two lessons have been focusing on mastering the ground level of the order of operations. Hopefully you've gotten enough practice to understand the key rule to addition subtraction, which is just work out whatever's in front. So when we go to simplify this, again, what's in front, because all these are the same, remember that it's P, E, M and D are together, and S are on the same level, which means nothing is more important than anything else. So you simply simplify and then rewrite. You simplify, then rewrite. You simplify, then rewrite, and then you simplify. Sorry, you couldn't see that. But again, you do your 8 minus 3, which is 5. You copy plus 2 plus 6 minus 4. You do your 5 plus 2, which is 7. Copy plus 6 minus 4. 7 plus 6 being 13. Copy down your minus 4. But again, the general idea there is just making sure you practiced that last week so you're ready to go. Also, we dealt with variables and making sure that we didn't mess up the order of it, which was making sure we read it as R is equal to 8. Don't forget to use parentheses. Plus T is equal to 2. Minus S is equal to 4. To be safe, you could rewrite it if you want to, because nothing's going on with those parentheses. And all of a sudden, it's just as simple as it was before, where we do the front operation first and then work from there. Keeping in mind our new format of PEMDAS, which is stacking, putting the M and D together, putting the A and S together, making sure we understand that those two things are on the same level. These two things are on the same level. Today we move up from the ground up to the multiplication and division. So if you have a general understanding of working with addition and subtraction, then today is mostly the same. Just like we worked out addition and subtraction in order, you're also going to work out multiplication and division in order, but there is one big difference. Because multiplication and division are on a higher level, you have to work out all your multiplication and division before you do any addition or subtraction at all, which means you will skip over addition and subtraction for multiplication and division. Keep in mind that the order of operations is about power. Because multiplication and division have more power, they are quote unquote more important than addition and subtraction. Luckily, real life does not work like this mostly. Think about something in a real life situation, which is if you went to a restaurant and were first in line waiting for a table, but the President of the United States walks in second, do you think the restaurant's really going to make the President wait? I don't think so. I think that they understand who the President is. You understand who the President is. And as much as you'd hate to have the President walk in to eat before you, I think we kind of understand the power of the President. Today is just about adding to your process, so write these steps down for your notes real fast on a piece of paper. First thing you want to do is seek out the first multiplication or division. So just seek out whatever the first multiplication or division is. Second, you want to repeat this step, which is to seek out the first multiplication or division, and keep doing that till they're all gone. And then we do what we did last week, which is front to back, working everything out. Before going to work, here's another visual of people who walked into a restaurant in order that they were put on a waiting list. So you're put on a waiting list, the President of the United States is put on a waiting list, I'm put on a waiting list, and the Queen of England is put on a waiting list. To me, and again, make sure it makes sense to you, if this is the line 1, 2, 3, 4, this is probably going to be the first person fed because they have a lot of power. If we're all in that room, I think that the Queen of England is going to definitely go second because they have a lot of power. And then after that, because we have the powerful people out of the way, then it's going to be like the lunch line where it's me and then, or sorry, you and then me, and then we go from there. So as you continue to move forward, just make sure you learn to look for the important operations first. It's kind of like a VIP situation. So last week we learned the fundamentals, but today we've got to remember that there are other operations that have more power. So here we go. When you see this question, 5 plus 6 divided by 3 minus 2 times 2, we're talking about the order of operations where multiplication and division are above addition and subtraction. So we don't care about these two because they're not here yet. So first thing we look for is any multiplication or division. So you scan and say, are there any VIPs in line? And there's one. We don't do anything else until that VIP is taken care of. We copy the 5, we copy the plus. 6 divided by 3, 3 goes into 6 twice. Copy the rest, minus 2 times 2. Once again, we're going to scan looking for any VIPs. So multiplication or division, hey, there's one right there. So we copy the 5, we copy the plus, the 2, and the minus, and then 2 times 2 is 4. From there, we now do what we've been trained to do because there's nothing but addition and subtraction. All that's gone, so we just do front to back, which is 7 minus 4, or 3. The importance of last week is that you got a chance to actually practice that process of this part, and what we're doing is adding important steps to what we're doing as we go. So take a second for yourself just to make sure, and go ahead and pause the video and try out this problem, and then when you're done, unpause it and see if you got it right. Go ahead and pause your video now, and I will go over the answer now. VIPs, hey, there's a division there. That's 1. So copy the 3, the plus, the 4, the minus. This turns into 2 divided by 2. 2 goes into 1 time, and then copy your parentheses 2. Notice the only thing that changed in this, 3 plus 4 minus times 2 is whatever we underlined. VIP here, remember that's not a parentheses, this is multiplication, so we want to do our multiplication first. So 3 plus 4 minus 2. Now that we're down to just addition, subtraction, front to back is how we do this, and we end up with the answer of 5. Check out letter C real quick just to make sure you've kind of got the idea. And again, don't be frustrated if you're making mistakes. This takes time, and that's why we want to make sure you actually get the notes and make sure you take time to practice it before the quiz this week. So go ahead and pause the video, and then I'll go ahead and work over the answer now. We're looking for multiplication or division, and that is not parentheses, that is actually multiplication. So 10 minus, oh, we don't want to do that. Let's turn that to be, well, 10 minus 16 divided by 4 plus 7, which really we can't do. So what I'm going to do just to make this better is turn this into 18. Actually, we'll turn that into 20. And once we turn that into 20, we get 20 minus 16 divided by 4. Actually, I don't think we had to change it at all anyway. Sorry. The question said 10 minus 8 times 2 divided by 4 plus 7. We did the 8 times 2 first because it was there first. That was 4. Then we copy the divided by 4 plus 7. I got caught up because I forgot my own rule, which is you deal with all the VIPs first. I'm sorry, that should be 16. And then we do 16 divided by 4, which 16 divided by 4 is 4. So 10 minus 4 plus 7. Now we have just numbers left over. So 10 minus 4 is 6. 6 plus 7 is 13. I got caught up because I saw the 16 and I was thinking 10 minus 16. But again, I forgot that there's another VIP that needed to be dealt with. So it happens to all of us. Just make sure, again, you take your time, practice, and kind of get it down. If there's one problem you need to make permanent in your mind, it's this one. And the problem with this one is because people see the parentheses, they automatically assume you do the 4 times 5 first. But that's not a parentheses, that is multiplication, which means division, multiplication. The first thing there is division. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. Copy your times 5. And 5 times 5 is 25. That's it. All right. So take a moment and do E just to make sure you've got the process down. There's only 2 operations, but again, it does make a difference what order you do them in. So go ahead and pause the video and try out E. And I'll work that out right now. Again, this is not a parentheses. This is a multiplication, which means these 2 things are on the same level. What's in front goes first. 40 divided by 4. 4 goes into 40 10 times. And then 10 times 2 would be 20. If you had 2 $10 bills, you have 20 bucks. Same thing on F. Go ahead and pause it. Check it out to make sure you've got it down. And I'll work it out now. Again, this is not a parentheses. So multiplication and division, same level. Work out whatever's in front. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Copy your parentheses 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Keep this in mind. You have telephone calculators that you sneak to use, but you don't get better at thinking if you overuse them. You should at least think about what the answer is before you type it in. I understand some of you are going to do that because you just can't help it. You think that you're not smart enough. You don't want to take your time. And so maybe you are using your calculator some other way to get your answer. But if you're not using your brain to think, then you're not getting any better at what you're doing. So if you don't learn your math facts, math is going to be very difficult. And remember, what we're here for is to make you better. Again, continue to work for improvement. As you continue to improve, you slowly notice that the work becomes easier because it is easy. It's just a matter of certain things missing. Math kind of works like a language, like learning a language. At some point, you didn't know any words at all. At some point, you knew enough to pick out one or two words from a conversation, but you couldn't understand the conversation. You just heard a word, you'd hear car or you'd hear toy, but you couldn't keep up because you didn't understand most of the words. Then at some point you knew enough words to start piecing together things and understanding what people said, so your vocabulary grew. And here's the honest thing. You still don't know all the words that exist, but you know enough to communicate clearly because you're able to, kind of, again, piece it together. You know what you need to know. When you're doing your math right now, some of you don't know a lot of the facts. A lot of you don't know a lot of the numbers that's going on. As you continue to build your number skills, as you can continue to build your multiplication, division, your addition and subtraction, it starts to kind of make sense, and eventually you're able to just kind of do it without thinking about it because you don't have to worry about the 6 plus 5s and the 6 times 3s and the 10 divided by 2s and things like that. So just be sure to ask for help as you need it. We're here to help you improve your confidence and your skill. But again, that effort piece, that comes from you. So talk to you later and good luck.